Tracking medications that a student takes at school is important for maintaining a student's overall health. This can be done by creating medication records, schedules, and tracking prescription information. Let's begin by navigating to the student profile in the student module. We'll verify that we're in the correct student profile before adding a medication record. Within the Health tab group, we'll select the Medication subtab. Let's add a medication to this student. We'll identify the medication that this student takes. The medication start date field defaults to today's date, but can be updated if needed. Let's enter the date that this student's medication will end. In the distribution type field, we'll indicate whether our student will receive their medication as needed, on a repeated schedule, or both. For our purposes, we'll select Scheduled. The End Status field indicates when the student's medication ends. We'll go ahead and leave it as normal. Let's identify how the student will take their medication via the Medication Route field. The Medication Dosage Unit field enables us to specify the form the medication comes in. For our example, we'll select Tablet. Let's indicate the dosage low, dosage high, and the max amount of medication this student can receive per day. We'll select the health professional who prescribed the medication. For the Comments field, we'll select Nurse. Any administration instructions to further explain how the student should take the medication can be entered into the Administration Instruction field. If necessary, a note could be added to provide further information about the student's medication. The Medication Secured Notes area can be used to add important notes that only users with security access can view. Let's click Save and Add Medication Schedules to continue. In the Medication Schedule Description field, we'll enter a description. For our example, the Entity field defaults based on our current entity. We can tie the medication schedule to the school schedule by selecting the calendar. If we want to include partial days in this medication schedule, we'll check the corresponding box. The start and end date fields default based on the dates we indicated while creating the medication record. Let's enter in the time the student will need to take their medication. The Administration Instruction box defaults to what we entered previously when creating this medication record. We could override these instructions if needed by checking the Override box. We'll leave this unchecked. Under the Medication Schedule Days heading, we can uncheck the day or days of the week that the student does not take medication. Since this student is required to take this medication from Monday to Friday, we'll leave this as is. Let's click Next to continue. We could uncheck the boxes for any of the days we don't want to create a medication administration record for. Let's click Run Process. Here, we'll see all the successful and failed records. Let's click Close. Next, we'll add medication prescriptions. Let's open this medication and select the Medication Prescriptions tab. We'll add a medication prescription. Let's identify when this prescription expires. Prescription numbers can be found on the medication bottle. Once we've determined this information, we can enter it into the corresponding field. If we know the name of the pharmacy that this student's medication is filled at, we can identify that now. Let's click Save to complete this process. Now that you've created a medication record, schedule, and prescription information, you can ensure that your student medication records are accurate.